everybody. So today we will start the next topic in the solution chapter. So in the previous videos we have discussed about the Henry's law and the solubility of the solute in the solution. So in this video we will discuss about the Raoult's law, and before going to the Raoult's law, first of all we will discuss about the vapor pressure. So what is vapor pressure? What is the importance of vapor pressure? And what is the importance of Raoult's law? Raoult's law is an important law which is mainly to calculate the vapor pressure of the solution, vapor pressure of the component of the solution. So what is Raoult's law? Raoult's law is important to calculate the vapor pressure of the component of the solution. Now what do you mean by this vapor pressure? What is vapor pressure? So the word itself, you can say that the pressure exerted by the vapor, is known as vapor pressure. So more in details, what is about the vapor pressure? Whenever the liquid and the vapor of the liquid, means suppose liquid is there and the vapor of the liquid means the forward it is evaporation or vaporization, and in the backward it is condensation. When both will take place at equal rate, means the rate of vaporization is equals to rate of condensation, means whatever amount of liquid is vaporized, that much amount of gas is condensed to liquid. This process is at equilibrium. This is the equilibrium process. Okay, so what is vapor pressure? Whenever the pressure exerted by the vapor of the liquid at equilibrium at constant temperature, this is known as vapor pressure. So whenever the rate of vaporization is equals to rate of condensation, at that time the liquid and the vapor will exist at equilibrium state. So whatever the pressure exerted by the vapor of the liquid at equilibrium at constant temperature, it is known as vapor pressure. So the vapor pressure depends upon some factors. The factors affecting the vapor pressure. The first factor is nature of solvent and solute. Means what if the if a solvent and solute both are polar means they are volatile. So what happened? If the volatile, then it will be having more vapor pressure. Means greater the volatility of the solute and solvent, greater will be the vapor pressure. Means more will be the volatile solute or solvent, more will be the vapor pressure. Second is the temperature. And the vapor pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. Because we know that greater the temperature, we increase the temperature, greater will be the vapor pressure. And third is the surface area. So greater the surface area, greater will be the vapor pressure. Clear? So what is vapor pressure? Pressure exerted by the vapor of the liquid at equilibrium at constant temperature is known as vapor pressure. So when the liquid and vapor will coexist means it attains the equilibrium state. At that time, whatever will be the pressure exerted by the vapor is known as vapor pressure, and this vapor pressure can be obtained only in case of closed container. So here the evaporation will take place as well as the condensation at equal rate, and that state is called as the equilibrium state. Then what is the factors affecting the vapor pressure? Nature of the solvent and solute. Volatile solute and solvent, suppose both are liquid, so volatile solute or solvent are having greater vapor pressure. Similarly, temperature. The temperature is directly proportional to vapor pressure. Greater the temperature, greater will be the vapor pressure. And last, surface area. Surface area is also directly proportional to the vapor pressure. Clear? Now, we come to the next, the main topic, that is the Raoult's law. Raoult's law. So what is Raoult's law? Raoult's law is applicable in two cases. Case 1, where both the components are volatile. Both the components are volatile. In this case, the pressure of any one component, suppose component A, the vapor pressure of component A is directly proportional to mole fraction of A. It is clear? Whenever the vapor pressure of A we will take, that is proportional to the mole fraction. Greater the mole fraction, greater will be the vapor pressure. Lower the mole fraction, lower will be the vapor pressure. So this vapor pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction. So we can write it PA equals to P naught A XA. So here P naught is the pure pressure or pressure of the pure solvent. Okay, pressure of the pure liquid, or we can say in place of solvent we can say liquid. So what is P naught? P naught is the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. Clear? And what is P? P is the pressure of the solvent in the solution. Pressure of the solvent in the solution. What is P? Pressure of the solvent in the solution. So here P naught A is the pure pressure of component A, and what is P? P is the pressure of component A in the solution. Similarly, if the second component is B, then PB is directly proportional to what? PB is directly proportional to P naught B XB. Clear? So we can write that the vapor pressure of any component is equals to vapor pressure in their pure state into mole fraction of that component. So in this way, if the solution is of two component A and B, this is the pressure of the component A in the solution, this is the pressure of the component B in the solution. So we can write PA equals to P naught A XA and PB equals to P naught B XB. So how we can represent graphically this one? How this can be represented graphically? See, suppose this is the x-axis we will take for the mole fraction, and this is P, vapor pressure, in the y-axis. In the y-axis we will take the P. Clear? Here XA equals to XB equals to 0, and here XA equals to 1. Similarly, this place XB equals to 1, and this not X, this is xi A equals to 0. Okay, this is the mole fraction of component B, this is the mole fraction of component A. Similarly, this is the mole fraction of component B, this is the mole fraction of component A. Okay, so suppose when the mole fraction of component B is equals to 0, so with the increase of mole fraction, what will happen? The vapor pressure will increase. The vapor pressure will increase, and when the vapor pressure will increases, and when it reaches to composition 1, because we know that it is minimum 0, maximum 1. Why? Because xi A plus xi B equals to 1. Okay, so it's minimum 0, maximum 1. So if the mole fraction of component B reaches to 1, from 0 to 1, at that time this is the maximum pressure exerted by component B, and this graph is of PB, and this point is known as PB naught. This is PB naught. Similarly, composition of mole fraction of A, component A, is here 0. So when it increases, so this is the vapor pressure of component A. So when it reaches to 1, at that time it gives the maximum vapor pressure, and this is PB naught A. This is PB naught A. Clear? And remember, let PB naught A is greater than PB naught B is greater than PB naught A. Clear? So here we will consider that the vapor pressure, pure vapor pressure of what? Or we can say that not, we will not take the naught, PB, this PB means the vapor pressure, partial pressure of component B is greater than the partial pressure of component A. Clear? So from this graph we can see whenever the composition is increasing, means the mole fraction is increasing, the vapor pressure increases. When it reaches to maximum value, that is 1, at that time whatever is the vapor pressure of that component, that is called as the P naught. And what is P naught? Pressure of the pure solvent. Similarly, for the component A, we have taken this one as 0, this point as 0. So when it increases and reaches to 1, that is the pure pressure of component A, and this graph represents the vapor pressure of component A. Clear? So this is the graphical representation of Raoult's law. Graphical representation of Raoult's law. Clear? Now, graphical representation of Raoult's law. After this, we will come to the mathematical equation. Mathematical equation of Raoult's law. Equation of Raoult's law. Mathematical equation of Raoult's law. So how we can represent mathematically this equation? So according to Dalton's law, Dalton's law of partial pressure, according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, what we know? According to Dalton's law of partial pressure, the total pressure of the solution, is the algebraic sum of partial pressure of each component. Partial pressure of each component. Once again I am repeating. According to Dalton's law of partial pressure, the total pressure of the solution is the summation of partial pressure of each component of the solution. Partial pressure of each component of the solution. So here we have considered there are two components A and B. That's why the P total equals to partial pressure of component A plus partial pressure of component B. The total pressure of the solution is equals to partial pressure of component A plus partial pressure of component B. Clear? Now, what is PA? PA equals to P naught A XA, P naught A XA, and similarly PB equals to what? P naught B XB xi B. This is the pressure of the component A, this is the pressure of the component B. So when we will substitute the value of PA and PB in this equation, what will be the equation? P total is equals to P naught A XA plus P naught B XB xi B. Clear? Earlier we know that xi A plus xi B equals to 1. So in terms of xi B, we can write xi A equals to 1 minus xi B. So here if we will put the value xi A in place of xi A, if we will put 1 minus xi B, the equation will be P naught A 1 minus xi B plus P naught B xi B. Clear? So what if we will simplify this one, P naught A minus P naught A xi B plus P naught B xi B. So if we will take the xi B and xi B common, so what we can write? P naught A plus PB naught minus PA naught xi B. So this is equals to P total. This is equals to P total. Clear? So this is the equation that P total equals to P naught A plus PB naught minus PA naught xi B. So it depends which one is PB, which one having greater value, that will present at the PB, and which one having smaller value, that will present in PA. Similarly, this equation can also be written as P total equals to P naught B plus P naught A minus PB naught xi A. Means in place of xi A, here we have written 1 minus xi B, but otherwise you can write it in place of xi B, you can also write 1 minus xi A, then it will be xi A, and here you can write 1 minus xi A. In that case this equation will be this one. But if we will take xi A equals to 1 minus xi B, then the equation will be this one. Clear? So this is the equation of the total pressure exerted by the solution in terms of Raoult's law. In terms of Raoult's law. Next. Next is the case 2. Case 2, one of the component is non-volatile. one of the component is non-volatile. Component is non-volatile. Non-volatile. One of the component is non-volatile. Clear? One of the component is non-volatile. Clear? So how we can write one of the component is non-volatile? In that way, how we can explain? See, suppose there is a sugar solution. Sugar solution. So before going to, this is the solution of sugar solution, and in another container we will take the pure water. Pure water, solvent. Water is the solvent here. So clear? So in this case, whatever the number of particles of water is there present at the surface, when we will see in this case, there are some solvent, some solute, some solvent, some solute. So like this, on the surface, not only the particle of the solvent is present, also the particle of the non-volatile solute is present. Also the number of particle of the non-volatile solute is present. So in which case the vapor pressure will be more? In case of the pressure of the solvent, pure solvent, is always greater than the pressure of the solution. Pressure of the solution. So whenever there is a solution, the vapor pressure will decreases. The vapor pressure will decreases, because when we will take the pure solvent, at that time the number of particle present at the surface is more as compared to the solution where the number of particle of the solvent is less, and that's why the vapor pressure is also less than that of pure solvent. Because we know that these are non-volatile, they will not able to evaporate. The non-volatile solute do not able to evaporate. That's why the vapor pressure only exerted by the solvent particle. Only by the solvent particle. Hence, the vapor pressure of the solution is always less than the vapor pressure of the solvent when there is a non-volatile solute. When there is non-volatile solute. Clear? Okay. So we will see its mathematical part, mathematical explanation. Mathematical explanation. Mathematical explanation. So what is the mathematical explanation in regard of when there is a non-volatile solute? When there is a non-volatile solute. So P equals to P naught x, P naught x, suppose this is XA. So this is PA equals to P naught XA, P naught XA. So PA can be written as P naught A, P naught A. In place of XA, what we can write? XA means xi A plus xi B equals to 1. So xi A equals to what? 1 minus xi B. So we can write it 1 minus xi B. 1 minus xi B. So PA equals to P naught A minus P naught A xi B. Clear? Now we will interchange their position. So what we can write? P naught A xi B equals to P naught A minus PA, because we know that the vapor pressure of the pure solvent is greater than the vapor pressure of the solution. So P naught A minus PA equals to P naught A xi B. So xi B is equals to P naught A minus PA by P naught A. P naught A. So here what we can see? P naught A minus PA. P naught A minus PA. What is the significance of this one? The significance is that this is called as relative, this is the change in vapor pressure. This is called as change in vapor pressure. This is the actual pressure. This is the actual pressure. This is the pressure after the formation of solution. This is the pressure after the formation of solution. Clear? This is the pure pressure. This is the pressure formation after the solution. So if we will subtract it, what we will get? The change in vapor pressure. Change in vapor pressure delta PA. This is the change in vapor pressure delta PA by P naught A by P naught A. And what is, so here change in vapor pressure or decrease in vapor pressure with respect to what? With respect to actual vapor pressure. With respect to actual vapor pressure, and this is called as relative lowering in vapor pressure. Relative lowering in vapor pressure. Lowering in vapor pressure. This is the relative lowering in vapor pressure. Clear? This is the relative lowering in vapor pressure. Means the decrease in vapor pressure with respect to the actual vapor pressure. With respect to the actual vapor pressure is known as relative lowering in vapor pressure. Is known as relative lowering in vapor pressure. Relative lowering in vapor pressure. So graphically if we will see, when there is both are volatile solute. First case 1, if volatile solute, the graph will be like this. The graph will be like this. This is the xi b equals to 0 and xi a equals to 1, and this is xi b equals to 1 and this is xi a equals to 0. So this is the PB and this is the PA. Okay, this is the PB and this is, so this is PB naught and this is PA naught. So what is the P total? What will be the P total? P total will be PA plus PB. So this will be the graph. P total is equals to PA plus PB. Why? PA plus PB, because here xi A and xi B both are 1 1. So P total equals to PA plus PB. PA plus PB. Clear? Means the pressure PA. What is PA? PA is the P naught A XA. So this is PA and PB. PB naught into XB. So that is equals to P total. So this is the graphical representation when both the components are volatile. Both the components are volatile. Clear? When both the components are volatile. Clear? But when we will take the case of one non-volatile solute, then this is the pressure, vapor pressure, this is the mole fraction. Here xi b equals to 0, xi a equals to 0. So with the increase of the mole fraction of the solvent, the vapor pressure will increases, and this is the PA. We will not take the graph of PB. We will not take the graph of PB. Why? PB is non-volatile. PB is non-volatile. So in case of non-volatile solute, what will happen? There will be no graph of the solute, there is only the graph of the solvent, only the graph of the volatile solvent. There will be no graph of the what? Non-volatile solute. So this is all about the graphical and mathematical representation of Raoult's law. So lastly we will come to this numerical. Let's see this numerical. It is very clear from the question. It is given the vapor pressure of pure liquid A and B, the vapor pressure of pure liquid A and B are 450 mm and 700 mm at 350 Kelvin. The vapor pressure of pure liquid means P naught A equals to 450 mm and P naught B equals to what? P naught B is equals to 700 mm. 700 mm. Clear? Respectively, find out the composition of the liquid mixture if total vapor pressure is 600 mm. If the total vapor pressure is 600 mm, means the P total is equals to what? 600 mm. 600 mm. Clear? So what is the formula? P total is equals to P naught A plus PB naught minus PA naught xi B. Clear? So what is the P total here? 600. What is PA here? 450 plus 700 minus 450 xi B. So 600 equals to 450 plus 700 minus 450, it is 250. 250 xi B. So 250 xi B is equals to 600 divided by 450. Minus 450. Minus 450. So it is equals to 600 minus 450 is 150. 150. So xi B is equals to 150 by 250. 150 by 250. So xi B is 0, 0 cancel out. And the value will come 0.60. The xi B, the mole fraction of component B, because we have to find out the composition of the liquid mixture. Okay, find out the composition of the liquid mixture. So xi B will come 0.60. Xi B equals to 0.60. Clear? Next. So xi A equals to what? 1 minus xi B. So 1 minus 0.60. So what will be the answer? Answer will be 0.40. Okay, but remember xi B and xi A. Xi B, this is at liquid phase. Liquid phase. Liquid phase, the composition of the liquid mixture, xi A equals to 0.40 and xi B equals to 0.60. But here the question is, find the composition of the vapor phase. Also find the composition of the vapor phase. Vapor phase means in the vapor phase what will be its composition, that also we have to find out. Let's see how to find out the composition in the vapor phase. Vapor phase. So see, PA equals to what? P naught A xi A. Okay, so what is P naught A? P naught A is 450 into xi A. Xi A value is 0.40. 0.40 and answer will come 185 mm. 185 mm. Clear? PA. Similarly, PB equals to P naught B xi B. P naught B xi B, which equals to which equals to what? 700 into 0.60, and this value will come 420 mm. 420 mm. Clear? This is the vapor pressure of component B in the solution. This is the vapor pressure of component A in the solution. Clear? So this one. Now composition in vapor phase. Vapor phase. What is the composition in vapor phase? Remember, xi A is equals to pressure of A by pressure of A plus pressure of B, means P total. PA plus PB is P total. So what is PA here? PA is 185 by 185 plus 420, and the answer will come 0.30. 0.30. Clear? And similarly, the composition in vapor phase of component B, xi B, generally it is denoted as YA. In vapor phase it is denoted as YA, and this is as YB, because in liquid state we are considering XA and XB, so here we will represent it as YA and YB, means the composition at vapor phase. YB equals to PB by PA plus PB, and it will be 420 by 185 plus 420, and the answer will come 0.70. Okay, so this is all about the Raoult's law.